just a screenshot,
Sure.
because who knows if you'll be able to get together anytime soon.
Do you want the award in it? I have it right here. Or
I
we
think
have it right
so,
Yes.
for sure.
Oh, that definitely.
here? Okay.
And you're right. You're right in the middle of my screen, Connie. So that's
Oh.
perfect. All right. Let me, actually, I'm going to turn my other screen off so that when I do the screenshot, it just takes a picture of the one screen. Okay, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
All right. Yes, isn't it nice? It came in the mail. We'll have to
And
find a spot at school.
It is Wisconsin maple. So
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know how much more we'll be able to do that, but when we heard the supplier wasn't making those anymore, we bought like the last dozen or so. So depending on how many people win awards this year and the upcoming years, they're kind of trickling down. So if anybody knows the source of Wisconsin maple or oak, our vendor doesn't carry them anymore.
oh.
I know
Well,
a
it is
source for
beautiful.
Wisconsin Walnut Hollow in Dodgeville, run by a foundation board member. We use it for all our plaques.
Cool.
Can you throw that in the chat?
Yeah.
Or email it? Either way. Email
I'll
might
throw it in the
even be
chat.
better.
Email, okay.
Awesome.
So Steve, is there like kind of an order of ceremonies here for?
Well, I had actually thought of recording myself saying something and then handing the award through the screen, because I've seen some of those, you know, and then, but I wasn't quick enough on that. We were trying to get it out in time, so before Christmas. But it's really just, you know, whatever the local group giving the award or receiving the award wants to do. But I guess I'd like to hear a little bit. Are all of you a part of the committee, or were you?
Yeah.
Okay,
So let's start with some introductions.
that would be great.
I think. So I'm Sandy Benton from Field Adventures, formerly Wisconsin Green Schools Network. So Julie Jarvis and I were the nominating team that nominated Crestwood Outdoor Committee. Actually, it's been about 2 years ago since we submitted the nomination, and then you were notified for last spring that you were the award recipients. And this outdoor committee has been working together. Eldon, you can probably tell us like the length of time, but they have duration. So these are some of them are many of them are retired educators, as I understand, from Crestwood, as well as community members from the neighborhood, teachers that are have joined the committee, as well as parents. And just that dynamic in itself is something that I have not seen, nor has Julie. And how the work of this committee has changed the way that Crestwood, its curriculum has developed. So as the school grounds have developed to have these really unique garden and native plant structures and a really well-maintained educational forest, that so has the learning opportunities across the year as well. So for those reasons, and that passion and commitment to student learning, as well as the stewardship of the school property, we nominated this wonderful team. And then I'll hand introductions over to Britta, who is the school principal. Britta, if you'd like to.
Hi, everybody. Yep, I'm Britta Hansen, and I always think how fortunate I am to have landed here at Crestwood. And the school forest, the whole program just amazes me, and it will always be a legacy here at Crestwood. I think the woods have been in use here for 30 plus years. And just the amount of people, like you said, Sandy, who are a part of this, retired educators, like you said, just neighbors, people in the community. and even, you know, families who went through Crestwood who continue to come back to support the outdoor education that's occurring here. And boy, everybody on the screen right now is so much more involved than I am with it and give up so much of their time. They have such passion for keeping our woods healthy, and making it a true learning space. And yeah, once Leaf came in and we've started working with you, our curriculum has really gotten very robust. And I can pass it on to Ashley because she was a teacher here and really worked hard to integrate truly through project-based learning experiences the forest. And so I'm just so thankful for everybody here on the screen. I know I don't see you often or get to thank you, but really appreciate all you have done for us. Ashley?
I have to quick say hi to Kylan, who I see in the background there. Hi, Kylan. It's good to see you.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Good.
I brought him in because he was part of the class that did so much work restoring the forest with Sandy, and so I wanted him to be part of the award as the student representative.
Yes, Kylan, you're as much a part of this as I am. Man, you got your hands dirty out in the woods, so
Yeah.
props to you. You've earned this award too.
Here's the award, Kylan. This is what it looks like. You'll have to come visit it. We'll put it at Crestwood somewhere, maybe in that display case by the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so prior to this year, I was teaching at Crestwood for 3 years, and after my first year, worked with the team to develop this cohesive project-based learning curriculum plan. And so working closely with Leaf and community partners to figure out how can we really get our kids out there learning in the space, but still meeting standards and fulfilling what we need to in other areas of academics as well. And so the group of 4th graders took on a big restoration project in the woods. So we did a lot of planning around what restoration we wanted to do. I'm curious to see how that has or has not been maintained. I think that's pretty exciting, and hopefully it's moving along in some way where other classrooms are still going out there and doing some projects in the woods. But that was a big project that we took on in the 4th grade, in addition to creating this integrated curriculum.
I guess I can speak to 2nd grade a little bit. So I'm Connie Allen. I teach 2nd grade at Crestwood. Well, no, most of you know that, but actually I had Kylan too. He got to do stuff with my class. And we kind of took all of the pieces that we were already doing outside. We usually started with monarch butterflies and learning about those insects, and then working. I know Camille helped so much with the butterfly garden. We tried several times with both of her children in my class to restore the butterfly garden, and different ways to use the woods. And I know Linda, who is here, did a lot of work with the flowering plants in the woods. And so we did several projects, I would say on a smaller scale than the 4th graders, but lots of little units throughout the year to give kids activities and experiences out in nature, learning and incorporating lots of reading and writing into those projects as well. So it was really fun. I totally enjoy it, and I'm really missing it this year with the kids because we're not in person and not able to go out there with everybody. You're muted, Linda.
Unmute. Now you can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you. I taught art at Crestwood for 13 years, and probably 20 years ago, there was some work that had been done in the woods, but it was still pretty rough. There weren't paths or anything. And Karen Lennox and Eldon and Joe House was a big part of that. Maybe Connie, I don't know if you were there then, but we sort of got together and started the outdoor education program, and it, kind of took off from there. My major effort, now I've been retired for 11 years, so my major effort over this time has been the wildflowers, and every year I would dig from various places in my yard mostly, or my neighbors who allowed me to dig wildflowers. So we have probably 40 different native wildflowers in the Crestwood woods. And I would dig just little teeny ones sometimes, but sometimes they were bigger. And then each child would get a wildflower every year to plant. And, you know, of course, the success rate wasn't 100%, but still we have a wonderful display, I think, of wildflowers. In addition to, Karen can speak to this too, there were some there before too. We have really unusual ones. And I just think it's beautiful in the spring. So my major part of this whole thing has been to be there usually the month of May, and I will ask now, because we have so many wildflowers, if they need some to be dug. And normally now I just have to go to different places in the woods, dig them up, and give them to the classes to transplant elsewhere because we have so many. So the other thing I did was I put out a wildflower booklet with information about all the flowers, and I dig small specimens and put them on a table near the lunchroom cafeteria in the spring. So when the kids line up for lunch or line up to go in or out, they can see the flowers. And, you know, but I'm very interested in this. I have a master's degree, believe it or not, in native plant community restoration from UW. And I know I could do more, but I'm kind of retired now. That's all I have to say.
Linda, I have to just ask you a quick question. Are you familiar with Earth Partnership, and have you worked with them at all?
I did take that class, the Earth
Okay.
Partnership class.
That sounds perfect for what you're interested in.
Yeah.
And I'm Karen Lennox, and I've been with Crestwood, been associated with the school for 31 years. My kids went to Crestwood, so my oldest son started kindergarten there 31 years ago. And then I retired this June. This is my first year retirement after teaching at Crestwood my last 16 years. And so been a part of it, watched the woods and the whole program develop, heard my kids come home from school and talk about Friends Workshop and Lunch and Learn. When they had, during lunch, you could take your lunch outside and join the garden club outside and go in the woods or go plant things in the garden. We also have a lot of gardens, vegetable gardens that we've had over the years. But just the involvement, my 16 years really dug in, got a lot more. I taught some years the second grade and some of the same curriculum with Connie, taught with Connie. And the other thing, maple tapping is one of our favorite things. That's been going on for years, more than 25 years, but it's something that we continue. There's sugar maples on the property next door, which is owned by the university, that we've been tapping their trees, and we've trapped some of ours, the box elders on ours, but we've also planted sugar maples, so someday we can tap our own sugar maples. But I think another piece that we're involved with is we do, like we've said, we keep community members involved. Over the years, there's been a couple Eagle Scout projects done on our property, actually 3 or 4 that I can think of. And one of the churches in our area does a Love Sunday, they call it, every spring, and they send 25 volunteers for half a day. We've been able to use those to really do some projects and keep our woods going and things. So I'll pass it on to Eldon.
Hi. Yeah, I think outdoor ed started way back in the 80s, maybe, before my time. And then through the 90s, we sort of had the gardens kept going with Margie Pierce and various other staff members. But then in the early 2000s, the staff really reinvigorated the outdoor education. They put together the committee and started looking for funding, and then Joe House took over and sort of really provided a lot of energy in restoring the woods and the forest as an arborist, and provided a huge amount of expertise there, and just chainsaw work and everything to clean it up and get it going. It's been, you know, there's just been so much going on with the expansion of the gardens over the time, addition of an orchard, and then looking to the future, we've ordered 225 trees from DNR and have started to sort of re-clear the woods and prepare it for the planting of these trees, and a bit of an expansion into some areas that were never used for planting. So this spring, we're really looking forward to having those kids back on the grounds and getting them out there to plant trees, and get the staff out there and everybody involved and carrying on with the forest.
And Eldon leads a longitudinal tree study as well. Would you like to share a little bit about that, Eldon?
Oh yeah, we with the restoration started by Joe House, and the students planted over 4 years something like 400 trees, and we started a program, a curriculum for measuring those trees that involved the 4th and 5th grade classes. And so we have data now all the way from 2010 to this year, where the students have gone out and measured the trees and watched them grow and tracked how which ones have survived, and we're putting together a sort of presentations and analysis of those data. It would be kind of fun to find a place to publish the results at some point. So again, looking forward to get the students back in there and back out, and we'll see what happens with the new trees that we plant. But we have some idea of what survives, what doesn't, and where we want to go. So
Eldon, there may be an opportunity to publish that in our leaflet, which gets out to all the school forests around the state. So if that's something you want to get with me on, we can talk about that. Jenny Christopher, who is with LEAF, she puts that together, but that might be an opportunity. And I know there are probably citizen science groups that are interested in that data. I just heard from the DNR today about their forest inventory programs, and this may be of interest to them, but it's a longitudinal study around the state, federal and state program. So
yeah, we've also created a soil science curriculum, and again have 4th and 5th graders out digging soil pits and looking at the layers of soil and measuring pH and nutrients. And we did have a group of 4th graders who actually wrote reports, and we have those reports from several years ago. Sort of modeled on something middle school group did, I think in Alabama or someplace at Madison, Alabama. But that would be great if we could get some of it, get the students to write some things up and develop the figures and things for a publication. That would be fun.
okay, well, if they could get you my email address, or
I will.
that would be great.
Connect you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds great.
And Camille.
Pass it on to who is.
Yeah,
Camille,
thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Eldon. It's hard to follow Eldon with his venerable history at the school, but I do actually, unfortunately, have to leave in just within 10 minutes, so I'm glad I got to be at this part of it. I serve multiple roles with the school because first and foremost, I'm a parent of 2 boys. You met one, and 2 of his teachers are sitting right here. And I serve on the Outdoor Education Committee as a parent. I have a background in environmental education. I used to teach preschool environmental education, and I have a background in conservation biology. But I also work for the Natural Resources Foundation of Wisconsin, and we partner with Green and Healthy Schools and the Department of Public Instruction to raise money for environmental education throughout the state of Wisconsin. So one of the big things our foundation funds is grants to schools and other informal learning centers to do environmental education. And so we've been securing funding to support programs like Field Corps, and we've provided some small grants to Crestwood for like the butterfly garden and the grant in the gardens, the vegetable gardens. So it's really been such a blessing to straddle both worlds with this project, with Sandy's work in the 4th grade class, for the Field Adventures project, and also for that amazing LEAF grant that the school received to develop this curriculum. And so from sitting where I sit, you know, being in touch with hundreds of environmental education projects throughout the state that we're funding, I have yet to see another model as successful and robust as what's happening at Crestwood. Clearly I'm biased, but it's, you know, from the setting itself in this beautiful forest adjacent to this incredible conservancy, to the legacy of the school, you know, with the environmental history of when it was first started, to the length of volunteerism from people who don't even have children at the school anymore and maybe never did, to the teacher involvement, to the administrative leadership from principals like Principal Hansen, supporting it and encouraging everyone to buy into environmental education. To me, what's been so inspiring is all of that collective buy-in, and also how it's equitably brought to all the students. So often environmental education is one project, one grant, one really passionate teacher doing work with one, you know, group of their students. But at Crestwood, every student has gotten the chance to go outside, be in the forest, plant ephemerals with Linda, plant trees and measure them with Eldon, go into the orchard, work in the garden, harvest the fruits of their labor, literally. And if every student in Wisconsin could have that experience, the world would literally be a better place. So I'm so proud of the school. I'm so proud to be a part of it. I'm going to be like clinging to it when my younger son graduates. I'm going to be like kicking and screaming. Might have to have another child.
You're gonna be like Eldon and come back and.
Yeah, no, I should. That's great. That gives me comfort. I can be one of those parents who are like, oh, what grade are your kids? And I'm like, no, I'm just here.
Well, we were just out in the woods with Peter Plain and Barb Honda and Bruce Zudi, who are all retired teachers, yesterday, doing some logging, and then Margie Pierce.
Great.
There's just a lot of people who are invested in Crestwood and really keeping things going forward.
And we have Operation Fresh Start coming out in like a week or two. Steve
Next
and Sandy what?
Next Tuesday.
To do a huge buckthorn removal. So it's really exciting to partner with them, and that will actually help with that area too that you so lovingly restored with kids like Kylan. And so I'm going to listen as long as I can, and then you'll see my screen go blank. So thank you to all of you, and just I'm so grateful to be a part of this.
Oh, I have so many thoughts. First of all, I'm glad you're recording this, Sandy, because this could be a real legacy kind of meeting where, you know, 20 years from now, people come back and look at this, and not that people will read it or watch it all the time, but I help to run a school forest as well. And I would love to do something like this now with our committee, because, you know, it's really neat to hear all of these stories in one place. Camille, when you do the buckthorn, take some pictures and document that, and for sure, because LEAF is going to do some invasive species workshops in the summer. So if we could, you know, have a little, you know, paragraph or whatever on what you did with some pictures, that would be awesome. I really want to get to visit Crestwood. LEAF has about, I shouldn't say LEAF, Wisconsin has over 400 school forests, and we had a big list to get to this last year, and we haven't gotten to them, as you all might imagine. So this is certainly another one I'd like to get to. This School Forest Award program and hearing these wonderful stories, this is really one of the joys of my job working for LEAF. One of the duties I get to do with the school forest is head up the awards program. And with all the craziness that seems to be happening everywhere these days, it's just wonderful to hear these great stories and sounding like this is going to continue into the future as well. So thank you all for being here. I do have a little prepared something. You probably all know just about everything I would say. I wasn't sure who was going to be here, but I'm happy to go through that. Again, because you're recording it, maybe there would be some information. So does anybody need to say anything else? Because I can go ahead and share with you. Okay.
I did want to just acknowledge, I know we're missing a lot of people, but we are so grateful for the people who do come back and volunteer and who are always there. Like, I wouldn't be able to do half of the things I do with my students if I didn't have people coming to help and support and plan and be there when we're actually outside. So although we've done some like really, really neat things, I don't think we would be able to do it without our volunteers. So I wanted to say it's a really great committee, and we have this great tradition of people like staying around after they retire. So now we just need to get more like the classroom teachers. We have lots of new younger teachers or teachers who are, haven't been part of the outdoor education committee yet. And so we need to get them involved because we certainly have all those other pieces. So thank you all.
It's a lot of fun. That's all.
It is fun. I always enjoy it. And I love having, like, Eldon, you make it so fun when you come to my class. We had so many good times, except for the bee sting time.
Yeah.
All the other times were fun.
We'll try to avoid going off trail next time.
All right. Well, so thank you for the opportunity to help present this 2019 Wisconsin School Forest Award on behalf of LEAF, Wisconsin's K-12 Forestry Education and School Forest Program. The committee was notified shortly after schools closed, maybe even the week after in March last year. What a time it's been since then. We're so pleased to have received the nomination from Sandy Benton of Field Adventures, formerly known as Wisconsin Green Schools Network. Thanks also to Camille Zanoni of the Natural Resources Foundation of Wisconsin, and Karen Lennox and Ashley Zellner of Crestwood Elementary, who wrote in support of the nomination. The Crestwood Outdoor Education Committee clearly deserves the award. Most of the School Forest Awards are given to individuals, but probably most of them would give credit to others who have supported their work in the background. Many dedicated individuals have worked as a team over the years to make the Crestwood School Forest programming and property the wonderful gift to students and the community that it is. So here are a few words from the nomination letters. I'm not sure whether you've all seen these or not, but from Camille, I have personally witnessed the difference this committee has made and the wonder and sense of stewardship they have catalyzed in countless students as they release a monarch butterfly into the world, watch a seed they planted bear fruit, or discover a native woodland flower, return to a forest plot they determinedly restored. In Sandy's words, the Crestwood Outdoor Education Committee should probably issue a school forester's warning statement. Joining the committee has contagious effects. The passion and commitment for outdoor learning grabs hold of members and does not let go, not at the time of retirement, not when one's child moves into adulthood, and if one lives in the neighborhood, watch out, you will be addicted to the work of this group. The passion and commitment of the committee is best summed up by a longtime community volunteer and former Crestwood parent, Eldon Ulrich. The committee is fueled by kid power. Congratulations to those who have worked on this team and those committee members who currently serve the students at Crestwood Elementary in their environmental education at the school forest. I hope you know that your time and talents will keep giving into the future as students share their local ecology and sense of place with others wherever they are. So thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So well deserved.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you and goodbye, everyone. Britta, I'm sorry I'll miss your remarks, but I'll listen to them in the recording. I'm sure they'll be wonderful. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Camille. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
I have more remarks.
Away, Britta. I heard them. Good.
I do?
No, you said them in the beginning. I didn't know if those were coming afterwards. I felt bad leaving before him. I was like, oh, man.
It's okay. I'm not sure there's anything really more powerful that's going to be said.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you,
Bye.
Steve.
Bye.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
thank
Steve.
you, everyone. Do you have any
Yeah.
questions for me or about LEAF or anything else before we leave?
I'm wondering about your background. Where is that located?
Oh, that we really have been trying to get into cross-country skiing as a family, and the lack of snow 3 out of the last 4 years has really made it kind of tough. Last year was phenomenal. Anyway, so we did an early season trip up to Ironwood. So this is one of the falls up there in the UP. And we got to ski on like 4 inches of snow, and they hadn't even tracked it yet at ABR. And the week after we left, they got like 3 snowstorms and had 30 inches of snow on the ground. So we're
Nice.
hoping tonight Wausau gets the high end of what they're predicting, so we can ski this weekend finally.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Looks beautiful.
but as I was saying earlier, I really want to get out to school forests, and so I'll make sure this one is on my list when we start traveling again. So thank you all so much for your work.
Thank you. Thanks,
So,
everybody.
Steve, did you mention something about, somebody did, either Sandy or Steve, about the buckthorn projects? I'm going to try to get out there and take pictures, and I know Eldon's going to be able to go Tuesday. It looks like it's on for Tuesday, Eldon.
It is, okay.
Yep, it is.
I checked
And
out.
I can come after school and do some stuff. So I'll go this weekend and get a some before stuff, because I want to teach the kids too about like why all the bags are out there. And I'm happy to forward that, like make little videos and send them for people to use on their choice board or to get up to the kids. But is there somewhere you want me to give, or did you want to see them?
Well, if somebody could just send like an email with some pictures and a description of what you did, that would be great. We have LEAF is sponsoring, and we just had one today, a DNR guest lecture series, and the one in May is on invasive species. So you can register if you just go to the LEAF website or the Wisconsin Center for Environmental Education. You can register for those. They've been really well received. They are, I would say, more on the level of what high school kids would watch, but certainly as teachers and people who are running some of these kinds of programs, it would be appropriate. And they will be recorded as well, so you can go back and watch the previous ones. But again, the one in May is on invasive species control, and it's a DNR expert on that. And then we're hoping to hold a workshop that I'll probably lead from LEAF either in the summer or early fall, but sometime during the growing season, so that we can really get some good identification in.
Okay, all right, I'll send you an email. I'll put some pictures together and check into that.
Where are they clearing the buckthorn? Where are
Everywhere. Everywhere.
All around. Yeah.
Especially the university property that adjoins as you go down the central path to the left. There's a lot on that university property. The seed source is there. Can we have, has that progressed? We were going to try to figure out a way to get them to clear theirs up.
I think they started. They've done quite a bit of work on their side of the fence, shall we say. I'm trying to clear up an awful lot, but we identified over 500 buckthorn.
How big were they? How big were they?
Oh, everything from 6 inches to just sprouts. But they're going to focus on the student plots first, and then the north side of the playground, lower playground, and then the east side also. So,
Did I hear you talk about, Connie, I think you mentioned bags. Are you trying to do it chemical free?
Yeah.
Are you trying to suffocate them?
Yeah, so our whole forest for a whole year will look like it has a bunch of bags in it, black bags.
You can pull the little ones.
Right.
They're very surface. I did my master's thesis on buckthorn.
Wow, sounds like you have some expertise there.
Can you pull them though when it's frozen? Probably not.
No, but you can even push over or use a weed weed wrench or whatever they're called on,
Mhm.
no, 3-4 inch diameter ones that you wouldn't have to bag. You could do that to them. I don't know. Have you tried that, Eldon?
No, well, this is the first major project, and they, I guess the plan is to try and cut them off at about 6 inches and bag them.
Not the little ones.
Well, yeah, we'll see,
Yeah.
how they go through. There's the north side is virtually all buckthorn. So
Did you say 500? Because I was going to say that's nothing. I've got a school
Yeah.
forest that probably has, I don't know, in some places 500 seedlings in 10 square meters. I mean, it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, well, everything we saw, is probably at least 3 feet high, something like that, that we marked with yarn. But
Do you have,
when you go through like that, every time you turn around, there's more. So,
Right.
and,
do you have seed producers on your property? Are there any big enough to produce seeds?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, there's.
Those would be typically, I know you're working with kids, but if you can get the seed producers, then you at least give yourself a chance to catch up to the problem. And so those are usually the ones that I would recommend hitting first, if you can.
This will be a project by actually people that are more 17, 18 and up.
Okay.
There's going to be a crew, I don't know, maybe 6 to 10.
Yeah, it sounds like they're gonna have 2 crews actually.
Is it now? Okay.
To do it.
When does this
Wow,
start?
that sounds great.
When
Oh,
does it
wonderful.
start?
Starts on
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
This
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I would like to be there.
That's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
planning on staying. Oh,
so
sorry.
they're donating 2 days of labor. So we paid for 2 days and they're donating the other 2, which is
Wow.
really nice.
Wow.
You can really make a dent with that kind of help.
Hopefully.
All right.
Okay. Well,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Sandy. It's so good to see you, Ashley. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Hear Everly screaming upstairs, so I'm gonna need to go up there.
Bye, everyone.
My mom's with her. She's not alone.
Okay.
Not
Bye.
alone with her.
Good to see you, Ashley.
Yes, you
Yeah,
all
take
too.
care.
Yes.
Stay well.
So I'm
You
going to hang
too.
out, like some of the committee, you had some questions or wanted to discuss what to do with the 4th grade plot. Is this a good time or should we like reschedule with more of the committee? What are your thoughts? I'll stop recording, by